Good afternoon or good morning, as it were, boys and girls. Welcome to, I think it's the 13th edition of Stay Bulletproof with Tait, Fletcher. And thank you for being with us, Miss Annie Lederman.
It's Lederman. Are you kidding me? You don't know how to pronounce
Lederman.
My last name?
She's a Jew that's trying to get away from it. You see a lot of people that have Stein or Berg on the end of their names that drop it then. That's kind of what Annie is doing.
Lederman Berg?
Also, Nate Harris is here with us again. We're sitting in L.A. and we're getting ready. Nate's got a fight Sunday at Club Nokia across from the Staples Center in downtown L.A. I don't know if you'll hear this by then or it'll be out about that time perhaps. And so he's here. We're at this beautiful apartment.
It is beautiful. It is trashed on the inside, and that makes me so happy, Tait.
It's not completely trashed.
There's
just some clothes around, Annie. Let's be serious.
There's some clothes.
You don't get shitty. It's not like there's fungi around.
What's fungi?
Like mushrooms, like your vagina. There's not like mushrooms or mold growing around. Don't you walk out here. Don't you walk.
That's very hurtful. Don't tell them about my fungal pussy fung.
Anyway, I think this has turned south too
Wait, no, quickly. Listen. I have a question.
Okay.
Who were these other 12 people that were better than me?
3 of them were me.
I feel like the list would be longer than 12, but thus far, the only reason you're not number one is because I haven't had the pleasure. A little background on Annie, Miss Lederman. Is that where you're going now that you moved to L.A.? Now, when she was in New York a month and a half ago, it was Lederman.
It was never
and
Lederman.
Now it's Lederman because
it's always been Lederman. No, my dad changed it.
Go ahead.
My dad changed it. His father pronounced it Lederman, and my dad was like, "It's Lederman. It doesn't. Lederman's not how it's read." So my dad changed it before I was a kid. I
go with Grandpa Lederman.
Milton D. He was a piece of shit. Shit his pants on a plane recently. Well, he's dead. But before he died, he sucks.
I don't feel how that has any bearing here. In the man's bowels, who knows? He's maybe overloaded on Epsom salts and psyllium husk, maybe. Maybe. What do you think about?
Them?
Nate's been getting ready for his fight recently, and so he has a lot of poop experience right now. And Annie is scared because she is actually in a very interesting spot for somebody that knows me and loves me and maybe hasn't had the benefit of proximity being really near me so much, but lately she has. We've been trying to get her on a health kick a little bit.
Yeah.
So she's just now enjoying her first cup of bulletproof coffee.
I'm very allergic to some of the ingredients in this, so I will be diarrhea.
She's not allergic. When she says allergic, she says she gets a little bit of diarrhea. She has oils. But as all you bulletproof monkeys out there know, that's what you got to kind of get used to it. You got to step in softly. So she's drinking my mix of this right now, which is maybe not stepping in softly or with a daintiness that her butthole would appreciate.
A dainty butthole? No one's ever said anything so beautiful to me.
No, I'm saying that anyway.
Everyone's always like, it's garbage. It's disgusting.
Those are guys that have been there. I don't know, so I don't have a reference.
I'm getting it lasered, Tait.
You're going to laser your...
I'm getting the hair removed.
From your... You have hair
my
on your
vagina and butthole.
You'll do that, but you won't get fake tits?
Wait. Nate,
it's very simple.
I got to tell you every time that you have to speak into a microphone, you can't just yell into a room. Do you know that?
First of all, that was Ruben the last time, not me. Thank you.
And you don't learn.
You should learn, buddy.
I'm just saying, you'll get your butthole lasered, but you won't get fake tits.
Well, boob job's like a real thing that they do.
Is it like a laser, like G.I. Joe lasers, or like from Star Wars, or what?
It's
what
like
do
they put you in like these like protective glasses, and there's like an Armenian woman, and she's
if
like
they're gonna accidentally
jokes.
laser your eyes when they're aiming at your butthole, I would go to a different
If you look
person.
at it though, and honestly, I did go like this. I'll be honest, I did go like this and look at it a little bit, and my eye did hurt the next day.
Did you sue him?
No, I'm not.
Wait, how many times do you have to do it?
You go like 6 to 8 times, but I just went for the first time.
All over your Isn't that sensitive? Like your...
It hurts a little, but I like pain.
You do dig it. You do come?
I like to be dominated.
Do you come?
Did I come? I didn't come during it.
Did you thinking about it later in the pain?
I do like the wax and all that stuff and the fun stuff.
So interesting that.
I didn't.
I mean, I'm good on you. I'm glad you're doing it. I never knew there was hair down there on girls.
No, I'm like I don't know why I have body
why
hair.
you're furry? Like
I don't think that I'm like the appropriate look.
You don't look like you'd be furry.
I have a mustache. I had to shave. You had to shave before they laser it, so I had to shave my mustache to get it lasered.
Wait, because you lasered your mustache also. Same place, same people?
Mustache.
You want to give them a little plug? Are they?
It's the Glendale Laser Center.
And they know about it because there's a lot of Persians there.
Yeah, totally. No, they're
big
Persian.
Armenian Persian joint. Yeah. So those are furry folks.
And they lasered, my badge. I left like some though.
Your lower area, your undercarriage is. You left some.
Yeah,
so
I didn't
you
go
could get
completely
artistic.
bald.
So you could be artistic.
I don't like the bald. That's not for me. It just isn't, but I'm excited about it. I really like,
Are you going to be like the girls with fake boobs that are like, look at this?
I did used to have my nipples pierced and do that.
Look at my butthole. Maybe you'll be at the Comedy Store just showing people, just gaping.
No, I have shown pictures of my butt cheeks to people at the Comedy Store, just pictures of my butt. I like to take pictures of my butt and send them to people. Sometimes my mom.
I just sent a picture of my poop to some friends.
That's not good.
I mean, it probably gets a different
There's nothing you guys
butt.
can send, like maybe your abs, maybe your faces. Nobody wants like a dick pic or anything.
That's not true.
No real girls do.
Nate, is that true?
It's not true at all.
You dirty whores.
A lot of women love dick pics.
I don't know if they actually like them. What is that? Really poop?
That's poop.
I don't like that Tait. It looks like soup.
No, thank you. No, I don't need
It looks
to.
like sausage soup. Looks like weird porridge with...
I don't even need to see it. I've been the recipient of so many of those pictures. I can tell you what it looks like before.
Can I just please ask to not be put on that list? I'll send you pictures of my butt. But maybe you think that my butt is the equivalent of
poopy?
Poop.
No, I would never respond with a poop pic unless it really looks a lot more beaten up than I think that it does.
I mean, my butt cheeks are pretty good.
I got started on it because Isaac Valley Flag and I would go train, and so in the morning, right when we get up, knock back some coffee, get ready to go training, maybe poop, and then go ahead and document it, send it to him and Joey Villaseñor, and then they would.
I don't know Joey.
Joey would get pissed, and Isaac would reciprocate, and so it became a battle like that. Now with some stunt guys that I know, it's the same thing. I was it's sick, but I was overjoyed when one day a picture just comes up from my buddy Darren, and it's poop, and I was like. He's just like me.
He's learning.
Without even knowing.
Well, I did get someone sent me a picture of their pee just now.
Their pee?
Yeah, because they're at the doctor's office.
I want to say that I've known Annie now for how long?
I was in Santa Fe
maybe
from
10 years. A long time.
It's
been a long time.
2008.
And she's a drunken whore that was a waitress at a bar and called the Cowgirl Hall of Fame. And it's really it's kind of like I mean, as far as service and all that kind of stuff, food's pretty good. The cooks are not so bad, but other than that, it's interesting. It's an interesting spot to go in if you're there. It's a really good place to sit. And there's a couple real diamonds out of a whole bunch of rough as far as the personnel goes that are there. At any rate, Annie is one of those drunken diamonds. So she's just not as shiny as she could be, really. And then she her sloppiness really took her to a point where she was like, I can't live like this anymore. And then she's like, fuck it. She makes one of those big moves that a lot of alcoholics do, and they go, I'm going to just get out of this fucking area. Because Santa Fe really does promote like mediocrity, and I don't want to do much beyond what's right here. And so there's a good place for that. There's also a small group of people that really excel and are looking for that excellence.
CrossFit Santa Fe.
CrossFit
Look it up.
Santa Fe on speededfitness.com. but
I mean, if there's someone that's listening to this that doesn't go there, I would be shocked.
But I think that was a dig. I think
I'll dig you till you fucking die, motherfucker.
So this bitch is I got to see her first comedy set. She's like, I'm really into comedy, and at that time I don't know if I was still bodyguarding Rogan and going around with all these comics, and I was like, awesome, this will be interesting. And so it's like an open mic night or some folk band or something gets done playing at the Cowgirl, and we'd all had dinner, and Annie goes up and tells some jokes. I don't remember what they were. I just remember it was that beautiful discomfort where there's all that kind of angst and fear and awkwardness and everything all wrapped in one. When you see somebody under the lights and everybody's looking at them and they're not really as great or refined as they could be, maybe, or they're awful.
How could you? Yeah,
it was awful. It was awful. And then she left to New York, and I was like, fare thee well, good luck to you. And
that's so not true. He was so supportive and nice.
And
he was like, you got timing. I think you could do it.
Yeah.
He was so nice. He's so full of shit. He's being tough because he knows I've made it.
It's so badass, man. Anyway, the bitch is gone for a while, and then I don't know how I found out you were in L.A.
No, I called you from New York to get sober. You didn't even get my sober thing yet.
No.
You don't care about that?
What happened?
When I called you to get sober in New York, you fucking faggot. Like, you're like the reason I...
She's like, and I don't drink and whatever, and so she's like, hey, how do I not drink? I want to not drink anymore. And so I just pointed her in some directions and got, I don't know if you ever met with Gavin or any of my friends that were there, but... I
don't think so.
But yeah, she ended up fucking cleaning up and not drinking anymore, and her whole life flipped. Everything changed. And,
like from the day I talked to you, I never drank again.
It's amazing.
January 28th, 2009.
That's so sick.
I won't ever do it again.
Nothing to do with me. But.
Well, you were like, you actually gave me some weird advice. Like your advice, I remember was like, I almost feel like you were doing it. You were like giving me this advice for me to not take or something. You were like, don't quit drinking. You're like, don't drink for 30 days. And then you're like, then start drinking again. Drink two drinks a week or something. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to drink.
I was like, go out and drink like three cocktails 3 nights a week, or 2 cocktails 3 nights a week or something. Pick those nights. And let's see if you got control over your drinking.
But I like by the time I got to 30 days was like I can never drink again. And I was like, I would never.
Because that's my thing is like I don't give a fuck. Jump in front of a bus. I don't care. Whatever happens, do your thing, stupid. But
fall in front of a bus after I push you.
If you don't want to, then don't. But if you think you are still great at it and that it's not in control of your life, let's try. Like what I was saying was like let's try controlled drinking and see what that looks like. You know what I mean? And controlled drinking looks like I'm going to take 2 drinks and then I'm going to go home. I'm not going to drink anymore that night. And I can do it. I've got such control. I can do it 3 times a week. For me, that looks like a disaster.
That's so boring to me.
I can't do it. I can't do it. There's going to be a reason. I'll say, fuck that. That's stupid. Or fuck that. Or I'll forget. Or I'll start. Like, it's just, I don't stop drinking. And
I mean, I drank to black out.
I'm like, let's prove a point and let's see where you're at with it. Yeah. And I don't know. So anyway, that happened.
Yeah.
And then you started, tell me about what happened in New York then.
Well,
and like, how did you break into the comedy scene there and all that shit? Like, because that's a huge fucking thing. It's like when people say, I want to be a fireman. Motherfuckers can go down to the fire. There's a road for that. But like something like this is like some maverick shit. Like, how do you go and be a comic? And people would say, I guess, like, go and do a bunch of open mics. Try to get on somewhere. Because fuck you. Because that's kind of nobody really gives a fuck. They're not supportive when people are like, oh, I kind of want to do this, so you got to be all in, right? You got to show your nuts all the way through.
Well, I wanted to do it once. I wanted to do comedy for a while, and I would say that. Can I have some more?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna diarrhea so hard. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna think of you the whole time in your abs.
I get that a lot.
I decided I wanted to do it, and then the first step was just admitting it, and I was admitting that I wanted to do it when I was in Santa Fe and still drunk, and I was like, all right, this is what I want to do with my life. So then once I admitted it, I was never not going to do it, and when I moved to New York, I was drinking too much. I couldn't do anything. I really was
when you say you want to do it, you want to make your living as a comedian, not just I want to tell jokes here and
not a hobby.
The difference of what that is.
It was never a hobby. I was I'm never going to do this as a hobby. This is going to be my job. And so I went to New York. I was going to move to L.A. to do it, which thank God I didn't. I couldn't move to L.A. because I kept crashing my fucking motor scooter, driving drunk, blackout drunk, wounds all over my fucking face. So do you remember that? When I had the stitches in my face and I had road rash all over my tits?
I don't remember the tits part, but yes, the face, yeah.
I never had tits. Well, I should tell people I had tits before the accident. They got scraped. The gravel took them. My line was I go, hey, anybody want to rub Neosporin all over my wounded titties? Nobody wanted to. But I moved to New York instead of LA because of the drinking. And then I didn't get it together to go to an open mic until finally I went. And I ended up hooking up with some really unfunny comedian, and which is unfair to say. I thought he was unfunny at that moment. And sorry, guys, that's just my butthole stirring. That noise. It's he's making a new coffee shake for us. The foul fuel or whatever it's called. Butthole bender. What is it called?
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof. I was wrong.
Also called the butthole blender.
I love it. But anyway, so I did my open mic. I fucked up. I failed. I sucked. I realized that I couldn't do it when I was drinking.
Where'd you do the open mic at?
I did it at this place called Cake Shop in.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was a lot of cake. I was very chubby too. Let's not forget how fat I was at that point.
Who could?
I mean, I was a bigum.
So then what was the breakthrough there? You start meeting other bitches that are also worthless and just beginning comedy. You're all at that level there, or you meet some people
I met
you
a
admire,
friend.
or did you have people when you went to New York, you're like, I need to hook up with this person, or what?
I had people that I really liked, but I come to New York for a vacation, and I knew a guy who was a booker for a comedy show just randomly through a friend. So I'd come to New York for vacation, and it was a year before I moved there, and he had set me up this show in his living room. He was like, let me just put a show together for you. And it was 5 amateur comics, and they're pretty funny. It was weird. There were 3 people watching.
This is in an apartment in New York.
In New York. This is before I moved. This is when I still lived in Santa Fe.
How small an apartment is this?
It was tiny. It was
they're not.
smaller than here, and it was just people sitting on a couch and telling their jokes, and it was very uncomfortable for them. And knowing now what that experience would have been like, it's shocking. But he books one of the best shows in town, so they would do anything that he wanted. So they did this sort of showcase for me, and he's an interesting one too. I'll tell you about that guy that put on the showcase. This guy Jeremy. And
is it solely that he wanted to bang you that he invited you there?
Maybe it was, which was never an option.
Because I mean, we're talking about your ghastly butthole and everything. Annie's if you look her up, it's Annie, Lederman, and I'm sure you can Google images. She's a very attractive blonde woman that I'm sure it's one of those things when you're in this kind of business that it's got to be way more fucking difficult for women because there's such a different, you're in a different water to swim than somebody like me is. It's nobody wants to fuck me. It's there's not that. It's there's a whole nother thing there, and so everybody promises you this to get some pussy, and then blah blah blah.
Well,
blah,
here's the thing about it. It's a lot of women are it's harder to be a woman. Women are never getting booked. Blah 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 blah. I never acknowledged that. I never let that be a thing. I was I'm a comic. I'm going to compete as a comic. I'm not, and I'm going to try to hone my voice, get my set to be the best. I'm not going to worry about other people around me. And I think it's a little bit easier in the beginning to be a woman if you're funny. If you work hard, if you put the work in. And you were saying what to do to become a comedian. There's a website online called badslava.com, BADSLAVA.com. It has the listings of all the open mics in New York City, all the open mics in other places. Some of them you have to pay to get on. You have to wait. You pay your dues. You sit there. You wait. It's terrible. You bomb. I would get up anywhere from 10 to 20 times a week. You just at least 2 times a night. I mean, 10 was very low. And I had friends. I surrounded myself by people who were doing very well in the open mic scene and who I saw were working the hardest. So I always knew I had about 3 to 5 people that I could call at any time when I didn't want to do an open mic. If I was I just did 2 open mics, I bombed, that I could call them. I'd be go do the other open mic. Why would you not do it? You could come up with a new joke. And so it was just hustle, 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 hustle. And then I started getting booked. But when you're a girl, girls say it's harder to get booked. They only book 1 woman a show. That's good. There are less women. So if you're the funny woman, you're getting booked on every fucking show. Yeah. If you're a white guy,
90 guys, there's 5 women.
If you're a white guy, you're fucked. You better be so fucking funny. You better really stand out. It's much harder for guys. But I will say that now that I'm at this level of my career where I'm already starting to do some television stuff and I'm working on development deals and stuff like that. Every meeting that I have, almost every meeting I've had with a man in this town has ended with him leaning in to give me a kiss.
Right.
I mean,
and it's kind of that's what brought you here. You came here for people are kind of courting you to do a TV show, and then the way I saw you here, my buddy Jason Tebow, he writes for what him and Sam Tripoli put on this thing, the Naughty Show, and then I was oh cool. I was in town and I saw that came up. I was fucking right, and then I saw your fucking name and I was oh my god. I was that's my friend. She must be here just visiting. Da da da. And then that's when I went down there and I was fucking so happy to see you, and you smashed it. You were fucking awesome.
Thanks,
it was
man.
Awesome. It was so great. Show. It was such a treat to see you there for one, and then to see how, to say how to say how skilled you are. You're fucking highly honed as a comic.
Thanks,
and it's fucking rad.
I was sliding around on stripper cake. That was a fucking crazy show.
Yeah,
That was really fun.
So the naughty show, it's a bunch of whores come in, like, and by whores I mean that in a very.
I mean,
sweet
I'm
way.
jealous of strippers.
Like,
I don't want to say that I mean, strippers are.
The only ones that
amazing.
think they aren't whores are, I think, delusional, or maybe you're some scummy kid that just got given a bunch of money.
I mean, I'm a dirty whore.
But we're all selling ourselves for whatever we got, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But the girls that are there are professional whores. They're selling pussy. They're like all porn stars.
Yeah.
And
It's cool.
and comedians basically, and it makes for an awesome show.
They have great bodies.
I think they just did one in New York. I think he just did one last Tuesday. Sam did.
And he's doing one in Vegas soon too. I
Yeah,
think.
sick.
Hopefully,
Sick.
I mean, he said he wanted to bring me on some other ones. I would love to do that again. It was really fun. I love when, I mean, I'm so filthy, and there's so much of the industry that's like, stop being dirty, stop being dirty.
Right.
But I live like a filthy life. Like it's
Right.
not, I'm not lying up there.
Right.
My jokes are coming from truth.
Yeah,
and they
you're
don't
telling
seem
me
like,
about a threesome, and then on stage there's a joke about a threesome that you were just telling me about that just happened last, or and it's like all very conflated.
Yeah, and it's weird because I'm not as slutty as I sound, I think, and I have to work on how I come off on stage because literally everyone thinks that I'm going to fuck them.
It's all
Every
gauges,
person.
no judges, no judges.
No, but I mean, I really think that, I mean, it's like what I was saying, like every business meeting, I'm just dodging dicks
They're
left
like,
and right.
I can bang her for sure.
But
I've
I
heard her
refuse.
act. That's exactly what everybody thinks in the audience when
Yeah.
they hear her. They're like, oh, I could totally bang her.
And-
All I need is see her when she walks alone to the restroom and say hello, and then she's going to be like, that's kind
And
of
the
how
truth
her act
is, nobody that watches me perform will ever fuck me. I would never fuck a fan. It's just so unattractive to me. It's such a weird power
I think
level.
those things that could come into play.
I mean, I'm not going to say never. Okay, I won't say never.
I mean, what are you talking
I
about?
had one guy.
Here?
I was in doing shows over New Year's in Buffalo, and there was some guy who I thought was kind of cute. I did him with Jim Norton, and Jim Norton like has like huge
When
fans.
you say you did him with Jim Norton,
I opened for him. I did like
okay.
So when you open for a
'Cause
comic,
what
you do
you
anywhere
just
between.
said sounded like I did the fan with Jim Norton.
Yeah.
And Jim,
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
I'm sure Jimmy would be into it. That'd be fun. Jim like he sells merchandise and stuff, and he signs tickets. He's so fan friendly and so fucking great, and such a cool dude.
He's
and
one
if
of
you
my
don't,
favorite comics.
He's one of my favorite
him,
comics.
Caparulo, I love too. Like
Yeah.
fucking dude, those guys are so funny, man. And so
And
like,
Caparulo,
gracious,
I do-
just beautiful people, you know.
Caparilla, I do Chelsea with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so then, that's the other reason. Is that why you came to LA, or
I'm
you
doing
started? How did you start doing Chelsea lately?
I started doing Chelsea lately. I got into the Montreal Comedy Festival. Oh, so this is how you do comedy. You fucking bust your ass. You have nothing else. You cry at the end of the week. You're fucking so
What if
exhausted.
you got a job? What if like your
I had a job.
and you're like, hey, I can't do
You get a day
Tuesdays
job.
and Wednesday night. Yeah, exactly.
You don't do it. You sacrifice
Cocksuckers.
everything.
That's what I fucking say. All these fucking dicks that come into every gym all over, burn your membership and go home and fucking keep living in your parents' basement. If you're not willing to do whatever the fuck it takes, that's
Whatever.
what it takes. People are like, oh, well, it's hard to be a fighter. This, you know what, stupid? Of course it is. If it was easy, every jacktard in the world would do it. And the thing is like I built my life around I can only work night jobs because I got to train twice in the day. I can only work this job. You know what? My night job's going to have to be cool with sometimes I'm going to take weekends off because I'm going to fucking pay $1,000 including airfare, fucking hotel, and registration fee to go fight in a single elimination grappling tournament so I can get my fucking chops up so that I can be good enough to one day. Like, that's what it's like.
You have
And
to
fucking whine to
sacrifice
somebody else.
Everything. I didn't have relationships. I ruined friendships. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's fine. Those people aren't fucking worth it.
And
If
everybody
they don't
thinks you're
understand it.
crazy.
Yeah.
'Cause do you know how many? Dude,
It's so hard
One in a
what you're doing,
million.
yeah.
Nobody does that. No, you know what? That's because everybody's a pussy like you are, and nobody fucking sticks it out. And everybody's quit button is so present in their life that they just slap it the minute the going gets tough.
And the truth is, I was not like a kid that wanted to be famous. I just like comedy. If you're in it for the right reasons
Right.
and you're fucking chasing the right thing,
Exactly.
it's fine. I wasn't like, I want to be famous. I want to make all this money. It was like, I love the craft of comedy. That's what made those open mics worth it. That's what made I had to pay for stage time. I had to give people money for stage time.
How long before you got comfortable going, I sucked tonight? Like, when you're just under the lights and it's like that uncomfortable. Like, before you're comfortable
Sometimes
being
it throws me.
uncomfortable.
Every once in a while, it throws me. Like, I mean, it just depends. It's like, my friend was just telling me she does a showcase set for Montreal Comedy Festival, which I was just talking about that I did last summer. But it's like this crazy festival, and it's like this sort of coming out of the new comics. These are the next big hits. These are the people you're going to be looking for. These are the people that are going to have shows and write for things and whatever. And it's good, but there's this whole process for 6 months where they're auditioning all the comics in New York, all the comics in LA. It's like bigger deal in New York, I think, for comics because it's just.
When you say they're auditioning, is there a rep going and sitting in on the shows?
Yeah, there's
are they
people
actually
get
calling?
recommended by other people that have done the festival, and a lot of people don't get the auditions. Who got an audition? Then it's like who got a callback, and then it's like you can't tell them. Once you do get it, like I knew for like 2 months, I think, and I wasn't allowed to tell anyone I got it, which was horrifying. I mean, I told like probably 1 million people. I'm like, it's so hard.
When O&A had me on the radio.
I mean, it's like it's just so exciting and it's so hard to get, and you're like, I can't believe I'm one of the people that got it type thing.
Right.
But my friend she said she bombed on her audition. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter because these people watch people bomb all the time. I bombed in Montreal. I didn't bomb on my audition. I bombed at the fucking thing, and I'm out here with what you said. I'm doing a web series for Fox. It's like it's like a developmental Fox thing. It's 3 episodes, and I'm gonna be doing it's like my life story kind of thing, like what my sitcom would be.
Right.
And so it's cool. It's like this great, like it's up like a pilot presentation type thing, and it's great. So it could turn into something. It could be nothing, but it'll be great.
That came out of you bombing in Montreal.
That came out of me in Montreal because it's a lot more than they're looking at. A lot more than you making those people laugh at the moment.
Right.
The best part about comedy is that connection, and I feel that way. I don't know about other people, but I mean, I love. It's just so cool to like click with the audience and like get them to laugh and like know that you're really like kind of almost like sharing this moment with them, and it's so fun. And if you're not in it for that,
right,
you'll still probably succeed if you work hard enough. But it's like, I mean, for me, that's like it's key. It's number one. So it's like this fucking industry can take whatever they want from me, but as long as I have like an opportunity to do that, then it's fucking cool.
Right.
If I can make money doing it, it's
that's
even
the
better.
thing too. Is like you look at where you are right now, and you're. I don't know. You were saying you have enough material to headline. You've got really good opening acts that you've worked for, or that you've opened for really high-end national acts, like high name. And then you're on fucking national television on a super popular talk show as one of the round table comedians or something.
Yeah.
They call it? Yeah. And then you're getting courted by a major television fucking station to do one of their web series. How much money you got a month? I mean, and that's. I'm
like borrowing money from my dad.
People don't understand is that like.
Oh, I'm broke.
Even after you like to visually, people are like, oh, she's all set. It's like there's and that's so much in these beautiful art forms where it looks successful. You look like people are like she's driving a Bentley for sure, and you're like no bitch, like I'm in the cut still fucking working.
Oh yeah, I have a dented neon that I'm renting from Rent-A-Wreck. They're robbing me. I'm paying $400 a month for it because I haven't bought a car, but I'm going to buy a car when I come back. But it's like I have no money. I mean, I have zero. I mean, I have to call my dad and borrow money from him. I'm turning 30 next week. Like it's fucked up, but I am so confident that I will make money that I can say to my dad, like, I mean, I still like feel guilty about it and stuff, but I'm like, I'll fucking get you shit, dude. Like, I'll get you. Like, it will switch and I will be taking care of you because I will fucking do anything to do that.
It's so cool. We were having lunch the other day and she's like, well, but I'm next. Like fucking, like so confident that fucking, that like, and it's true. Like I can see that, you know what I mean? It's like, when you look at people that are just, I don't know, and it's like I'm your friend and for a long time, but I wouldn't say that if I didn't believe that like I've seen, I don't know if I've seen thousands maybe of comics. Like I've seen a bunch of, and most of the comics I've seen are successful working comics. They make all their money fucking doing comedy. And out of those, there's 20 or 40 or something that are like, those are special people that are like that's something different. You know what I mean? Like when you look at a Chris Rock or Chris D'Elia or whatever, or fucking Ari Shaffir or fucking Joey Diaz or like all these guys, you're like, that's a different kind of fucking funny, man. That's a different, and it's a different kind of like spark that they have with the crowd. Like, and you've got that, like that's the thing is what that was so cool to see you. On the Naughty Show was like fucking holy fuck, she's one of those people. You know what I mean? It's so clear, and that's the thing is you just don't quit. Like even when it's like, oh, here I am, I've made it, but you still don't quit. You're not done.
No, I'll do spots at the store.
There's not a destination where you go. You look at Dom Herrera or something. He's like, he's grinding it out. He's going to do whatever for forever because this is what he is. He's a comic.
I mean, and it's really the fucking best profession in the world because they can't take it from you. They can take development deals. They can take television. They can go to me in fucking 5 years and be like, you're too old. You missed your spot. I will always be able to do stand-up. They can never fucking take that from me. I might not have money.
Right.
Which I just can't imagine that ever happening. But I mean, there's no way. But like whatever. It's like I don't say that in a cocky way. It's like I just fucking bust my ass. I just won't stop. I truly say, and I know this sounds so like weird and martyry, but I just think about like buying my family stuff, like taking care of my niece, taking care of my mom and dad. I don't give a fuck what I have. Nice clothes would be cool.
That's the same
fucking
thing
personal trainer would be cool.
Every day as I think about that, I think about like I need, like I'm trying to make all these different things work. I've got investments in a club that I'm trying to work in there a little bit, and then I'll do that in the spare time when I'm not working stunts, and then fucking I've got acting jobs here, and then I've got a fucking gym that I'm running. Like I'm busy.
Yeah, you got to have all the plates.
And all I think is that my mom's got nobody, and if there comes a time when she needs 24-hour care, I need to be able to pay for that. Mm-hmm. Like I need to make money, man. I need to fucking stack fucking stacks.
I always tell my dad that I'm like, I'm gonna buy you such a nice house for your ashes. It's gonna be a beautiful urn. It's gonna be so like marble and gorgeous. But I mean, I really I think about that, and it's like I do. That's in all of my decision making, because it's like I just want, and they are proud of me. Like my dad texted me the other day just out of nowhere. He was like, "I'm so proud of you." Yeah. Like it's like, and he's signing over his fucking Social Security checks to me, and he's still proud. It's like amazing, because they believe in me, and they didn't pay for me for a lot of stuff. They they cut me back on, like maybe 6 months ago. They were just like, "We believe that you're going to do this and that this is going to work out, and we're like willing to, supplement your expenses right now," and it's fucking great. It's so nice, and I wish that it wasn't that way, but I'm also not going to lie about it, and I don't want people to just think that this is like this easy glamour. It just doesn't. It's like, but you just do everything you can, and I feel bad for the people that don't have parents that can help them.
And the other thing is you would probably kill yourself if you had to work any other kind of job.
One, I'm unemployable.
That's the thing is like,
but two, I can't. I work all day. I mean, all day long, I'm either like working on my body, which it obviously seems like I'm not, because you guys have better bodies. A little bit?
Totally shows.
Are you lying?
No.
I can't tell. I'm scared. You look great. I feel cold. I'm shaking.
Do you know Nate's an aspiring comic that's never had a spot before anywhere?
Do you do open mics?
He doesn't.
Oh, you just want to do it? This is what I forgot about my story.
He's funny on Facebook, and so he wants to take that somewhere else. And I'm like, dude, just
write
down so that you got 90 seconds of shit. Just time yourself and film yourself and do it. Just fucking write that out and see what 90 seconds feels like when a fucking camera is looking at you. That was all my advice to him. And then I'm like, and just work from there, and then get a couple people together, and you'll do a fucking little open mic. But that was
you could do that, or you just go bomb. There's no I know what you're doing right now, and I forgot a key part of my getting started in comedy. There's no way to do it. There's no book to read. There's no advice that you're going to get. It's all procrastinating, and you know it, I'm sure, with training. I mean, you just have to get up there and bomb. Like, that's the thing. Like, I did, 15 to 20 mics a week, and I was bombing. It was like bomb, 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 bomb. You become like this bombing machine where nothing fucking hurts you anymore. And then you start to get fun. Like, you start like getting laughs. You're like, holy shit. And then you put together that set, and then you keep going out, and then eventually you start getting booked on things. You start doing showcases. And then like once I got Montreal, it was like, I got on some higher like end shows. And that got me a little bit of respect. Then I went to Montreal, and that got me booked on a lot more. I still have a lot of people that don't really like me, so I had to keep going.
When was that?
What's that?
When was that? When did you do Montreal?
Last summer. And then that really like heightened me. And then I did a TV show on MTV that's coming out. I did a Comedy Central thing. I do Chelsea Lately regularly. It's like things just like build and they snowball, and then and it sucks that people need you to like have done television to decide whether they think you're funny enough to do something, or whatever. But you just work and work and work. But in the beginning, when I wanted to do comedy, I went to New York. I did my first open mic. I ended up quitting drinking. I was like scared of everything, and it sucked, and I bombed, and it felt bad. And I went to a party at Donnell Rollins, Ashy Larry. Do you know him? Who's Ashy Larry on the Chappelle Show? I randomly was at a party of his, a Super Bowl party. This was a week after I quit drinking, I think, and a week after I'd done my first bomb. And I was talking to one of his friends, and I was like, said something funny, and his friend's like, "Are you a comedian too?" And I was like, "Well, I moved here to do it, but I'm not really like, pursuing it or whatever." And he goes, "Yo, Donnell, put her on your show." And he was like, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "I'm not ready. I can't do it. I don't." He goes, "Don't tell people you're a comic unless you're a fucking comic. Go hard or go home." In front of a whole house full of people. He goes, "Go hard or go home. I don't want to hear any of your fucking bullshit." Totally embarrasses me, right? Like, and I'm like, fuck.
He's like, own it.
Yeah, he just like said it to me, and I was like, "Whoa!" Because I'm like, "There's a book I got to read. There's something I have to write more material. You have to write anything. Get on fucking stage and try to be funny. You're not going to be funny. There's no writing. There's no book that's going to make you funny in the beginning.
There's no way anybody.
You are
goes on
gonna
stage
fucking
and
bomb.
You're gonna fail.
You're gonna bomb for so long, Like I'm
Rogan
so
always
lucky. I
says
figured
he's
it out.
like, bombing is like sucking 1,000 dicks on stage in front of your mom. He's like, it's just fucking off. And
I bombed once in front of my parents, and then they drove me back to Philly for 2 hours. It was so. I was like,
"Baby, you could do something else. Are you sure you want to
do you believe in me?" I mean, the fact that they've seen me through the whole way is like really good because I mean, it was not
so awesome.
But I never doubted.
How
I was
happy
never
are they
like,
every time they turn on the TV.
they're psyched. Except I've said some shit on TV I shouldn't have said about them, but
Whatever.
I'm not going to say it again on here because it's just again. But
What'd you say?
no, I don't want to say it. I mean, I don't have any secrets, so it's hard for me. But I just said something about my dad that was off color. That is not my business to say on TV.
Yeah.
And then remembered I was on TV and was like, I mean, just kidding. He doesn't do that. But
He never fingered her, not one time, you guys.
I mean, he didn't. And that wasn't what it was about, but I wish he would. Is this brush named Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a creep, Tait.
It's for spanking little
There's
kids.
a little
That's why
brush.
it's
Oh
so
my
small.
God. Did I tell you my spanking joke?
No.
About how someone told me that girls that like to get spanked were spanked when they were kids. And if that's the case, I must have been Jean-Benet Ramsey because I like to be tied the fuck up.
I like the one when you're talking about somebody saying, "Oh, I just can't," like when you're sitting on the couch watching TV and I don't know what fucking shitty show, the New York show about girls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that's too much.
The girls thing.
I just slid off the couch.
I just slid right off the couch. It's horrifying.
You guys will have to see her to hear it. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I got to do that before that show gets canceled, right? Might be on forever. The thing with that show that's so weird is there are moments of it that are so fucking good. And then
I've
it's
never
like,
seen it.
It's really bad too. Like
I've
there's
heard
moments
it's
I'm
excellent.
but there are moments of it that are like, I'm like, I've never related to a thing more in my entire life. Like that girl has like really brilliant moments, but it's like with those shows where you can tell it's just like really like one person's voice.
Right.
There's a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
But it's so much better than when the
I hate it
networks
when you
get
can
their
tell
hands
that they've
and
got
everything.
a very different writer.
Yeah.
Like when different episodes come up and you're like, fuck, this is such a departure from the excellence of this character. Clearly some other asshole is writing this.
Yeah.
Right now. I fucking
I mean,
hate
they haven't figured out TV and they haven't figured out content, but it's going in a good direction with Louis and with girls, I think, like where they're really giving like a few people this creative freedom that is like really brilliant. And, and there's obviously hits.
I think they had that with Chappelle.
Yeah.
And then it got all screwed.
Well, now everyone's trying to do that specific format and they're fucking it up.
Yeah, they're trying to copy that instead of like he's an originator.
Well,
It's like
Amy Schumer's
Louis
new
is
show.
an originator.
Amy Schumer's new show is really good.
Sarah Silverman is a fucking originator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you look at those people. I haven't seen that one, Amy Schumer's.
It's Amy Schumer's show's like it's good. It's really good and it's exciting. It's like, I don't really know her personally. I like her a lot, but I've met her a few times. She's always been really nice to me. But it's really like it's so good. It's just good. It's exciting because it could have sucked. Like I just look at it and it's like there's so many shows that are like, they're specifically like set up like all the other shows, and it's like you just plug someone in or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, and each of her episodes gets better. So it's just like, it's
I wonder
just
how
so
much
good.
she does with the editing of it and all that.
Well, she has amazing writers.
Right
She
on
did
it.
such a fucking smart thing. She hired such good comics to be writers rather than just.
Who are her
like,
writers?
She's got Kurt Metzger, Tig Notara, and then I don't know the other ones, but I know that they're good people. And they're just, they're some of my favorite comedians. And it's like she hired the people that she admired.
Yep.
So she has these really smart brains, and I don't know if they've written television before, so I don't know if they have that structure or not, but I do think that that's second, because then you get the structure people to help the people with like the ideas people, and it's
what
just
do
good.
you feel about like you get offered something like that and then is that some of your best material that you're coming up with, and then if Comedy Central says, hey, we've got a show for you and you're burned out of your material off of this TV show that you're making somebody else funny with.
Well, you got to figure. If you write for other people,
I've made a decision. You know what I mean?
I've made a decision to not do
I'm
that.
going to write for somebody, or I'm going to be the person.
I have a friend who
is that a thing that comics have to make that decision, go one way or the other?
I think a lot of comics try to try to walk the line, but I would like my own show. I want to write for myself. And regardless of TV, of shows or anything, what's most important for me is to hone my voice and to be specific to like what my direction is. So I want to not, and I did write on a show. I wrote on the show called Impractical Jokers, which is a really fucking hilarious show on True TV with these three. I mean, it's just, they're so, four friends there. I mean, it's hilarious. And that experience was bad for me in the sense that I didn't like to be in a 9-to-5 job. I mean, I've worked so hard to not have that. And at one point I remember the showrunner taking me outside to yell at me and me just standing there and being like, I mean, never again will I have someone talk to me like this. Like, never again. I just can't. I've worked too hard on the other stuff. I've worked too hard to rise above this. And not to like look down on other people that have that situation. That's not for me to be spoken to like that. I just can't. And I don't, and it's important. I have a friend who was a showrunner for a really funny show that ended up getting canceled. But I submitted a packet. That's what you do when you want to be a writer on a show. You know, your managers or your agents will send you a packet and it'll be like, 1 to 2 page description of things they want. It'll say something like, we need, 5 monologue jokes in this comedian's voice about either these topics or pick 5 topics in current events. And then those will be the one-liners of things like Jimmy Fallon says in the beginning or Jay Leno says in the beginning of his show. And then they'll say, we need like 5 sketch ideas and, we want them in this angle. And then maybe there'll be like a fun thing like, roast a celebrity or something.
Right.
So you fill out the packets and you send them in and then they read them and they, through the submissions and through, I don't know if it's like favors to people or what, but they decide if they like you, then they'll usually have you do another packet or have you come in and meet with them. And I sent in a packet to my friend and he was like, look, he said, he was like, it's a very good packet. I could probably give you this job, but I don't think that this is right for you because it's like this is your time to like focus. That's and thank God he fucking said that because it's true. It's like when I was writing for Impractical Jokers.
How shitty would it feel if somebody else is smashing with your material and you're like, I am the person that should be delivering this material?
Yeah.
That'd be such a sunken feeling, I would think.
Well, it's weird. Like, I'll write for people if they're doing roasts and stuff. Like, I haven't written for any of the Comedy Central roasts, which I would love to do. I would love to be on those roasts. And I love writing roast jokes. And I definitely feel like I would fucking shine in that arena. But it's for the goals, for the list of goals. Just keep writing it until it happens. I also do that.
Tony
when we talk about
I think, too, like that. He
writes for Jeff Ross. And
God damn.
He works with Jeff Ross a lot. So that's like definitely his genre. But, I love doing them. And so I've written for roast before, and it is an interesting, when you see someone kill with your joke, you are so proud, but it's also like, I would never want to take that credit from that person because it's their gig, it's their show. It's like my gift to them or whatever.
It would feel weird though,
but
too,
it does
for
feel
that
weird
person.
because you want, I remember I wrote a joke about like, and I don't know Artie or anything, but I wrote a joke about Artie Lang was on the roast and I was like so proud of it. And I just wanted him to know that I'd written it. But I couldn't do it.
I think it would suck too to be the person that's delivering the joke, going, "This isn't really my shit."
Yeah,
it's like
I don't take
people
writing.
talk about Mencia as a thief, but then at the same time, in a way, it's like, and I don't know the intricacies of the comedic business, but in a way, it's kind of like the same thing in a way, except I know that I'm using your shit. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I mean, people like write for each other.
I'm an artist, and I'm going, "Hey, here's my show." But I have you and Nate fucking that drew some pictures for me because I didn't have enough time to get it all done. And I put those up and put my name on it because it's my name on the show. It's a little weird.
But it is the nature of it because you can't be, you're so few people are a one-man band. I mean, some people really are. Some people are able to edit, direct, write, act, do all the things. And those people are fucking boom to the sky. To the sky. They can do whatever they want. And that's amazing. But so few people are like that. And also time limits and stuff like that. So people have writers. I personally don't, I'm not comfortable delivering other people's jokes just because my stuff comes from my head. Like it's just hard for me to deliver something that's not mine.
I love how scary it is too. Like it's like that thing about living in fear, that, I mean, everybody tries to move away from, but it's like, it's such an important thing to live in that fear. I think to live in the place where it's like I see comic friends of mine, like Ari was talking about, like I made a decision I'm never going to do that joke again. Kills every time. I'm never going to do it again. And like fucking that fear, but he has to, everybody has to create that pressure in their lives, whatever it is. Like in jiu-jitsu, it's if I smash at fucking guillotines all the time, I'm not going to hit any guillotines. I won't finish anybody that way. I'm going to choose something else that I'm not good at so I can get better at that thing, whatever the thing, whatever your genre is, as far as your life skills or your work or your whatever, being in that discomfort of that fear and going, I'm going to take away what I'm best at so that I can fucking create something new, because nothing will ever come into this space if I keep this thing here.
And I think that like with stand up, literally the only thing that you could really do to hurt yourself, and I don't even know, I mean, you could probably still go far with it, but it's like your fucking soul. I mean, going up there and delivering the same jokes, like it's part of your job to deliver the jokes that you've delivered every night and make it seem like it's something new, but it is soul crushing. I mean, to do the exact same set, it's so embarrassing. It's like, the comics in the back know the jokes. It's like that judgment, like, oh my God, are they like this idiot's doing her Montreal set, that, or like whatever, it's like, we've heard that a million times, and like the industry, like, oh my God, they think I've written anything. It's so important to remember that you created those jokes already. You have the ability to do that. You've already found a set that kills. So if I have a 7-minute set that kills, and I'm doing it everywhere, if I'm having writer's block or whatever, I have to remember that I didn't have those jokes before. I created them. If I can create those, I can create them again. And you just have to do it. You have to push forward. And the way I write, like, I wish that I was like someone that sat down and wrote and could do that. It doesn't, and I possibly could be. It just hasn't worked for me. And it is something that I would like to try to do again. But it's more like I'll add like a new, like, one line to something, and it'll grow and grow and grow. And I do have some new bits over the past, since I've been in LA, that's like really exciting and really fun. I'm excited to go do them in New York. But you really can hurt yourself by doing the same stuff. I mean, it's just not, you don't grow, and you're going to kill, but you know what's going to happen. It's just playing the same thing, playing the same song over and over again. It's just not fun. So you have to keep going forward. I think Louis said that what he does is he'll take his closer. Louis C.K. will take his closer, which is supposed to be your biggest laugh, like just a huge laugh going off, and he'll move it to his opener. So he has to make sure that he makes that last chunk kill.
Right.
It's cool. And if you move it around, sometimes it helps, and just like trying to say things in a different way, or like, I like to do crowd work too, because sometimes you can generate some new material out of that.
Are you gonna do a show in Santa Fe? You were talking about that a little bit.
I mean, I would love to do that. That would be so fun.
A place where you could.
Where?
I don't know.
I'm
curious.
What about that back room at the Cowgirl? Pack that out. I mean, it'd be still just too small, maybe.
Maybe. But I bet we could fill. I don't know.
I feel like I know you said the Lensic is ambitious.
But how many people are at the Lensic? Is it 3,000 seats in there?
I have no idea.
We could
It's a huge fucking theater.
But if we got like a big enough name or whatever, I think we probably could. People will come in from Albuquerque.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
it's a huge fight community. If we got Rogan to go there.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Stupid.
Because it's so hard, and this is something I told myself. I don't take nights off. Like, I'm at a place now that I will, like, I don't have a show tonight. I'll probably go.
How much do you work out here when you're in LA? Like, how much are you on stage?
Okay, in New York, I get up about 3 times a night. New York, I just got into a groove. They're not all good spots. They're not all paying spots. It's a hustle. It's running around, jumping on the train, taking cabs, spending money, blah, blah, blah. Here, I'm getting up usually about once a night. Maybe I'll have one night off that I don't get, and it's great. It's good here.
Are you going up so good. Somewhere?
I'm not going up tonight, but I'm going to go hang out at the Laugh Factory in the Comedy Store, and just maybe if someone drops out, I'll be able to go up.
Who's up at the store tonight? Do you know?
I don't know. Probably just the usual, but it'll be fun. I mean, I really like getting past to the Comedy Store was really huge for me. I mean, it really was. Like, I didn't realize it was until maybe people's reactions.
Those places are like the Mecca. I mean, it's like getting accepted.
It feels special.
Places.
It's like really nice.
It is.
It's
like being in a good fight camp. I mean, is what it is. It's like, oh no, here's where I work out.
Yeah, and it's great, and it's so, and I have just such like a positive experience on stage there all the time, and I do feel like I'm like learning, and it's such a safe space. Like, they really created, Mitzi and Tommy and whoever else, I mean, before my time, they created a space where you can really fucking do whatever you want.
Right.
Completely uncensored.
Well, and enough rooms there that it's like there's something that's appropriate here that maybe isn't there. If you're in the belly room, it's going to be a whole different scene than if you're in the OR or whatever, or the main room,
Yeah, but it's so cool. I mean, it's like, my $15 a set, I'm like so proud of it. It's so great.
Sick.
And it's so cool. I auditioned once. And he passed me right through. It was like so cool.
Who did you audition for?
Tommy.
Yeah. Have you seen Mitzi?
No, I never met Mitzi.
Yeah. She's a neat. I mean, that's a neat lady. What a just historically, it's like, Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, the whole thing's cool.
somebody
I mean,
you
I
watch
grew up
all the
watching
people that
like
have passed
Pauly
through
Shore
there.
movies and shit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like crazy. And
Or
Man's
before
the
that, I
best.
mean, you look at all that stuff. The way before that, all the guys that are in there, the Lettermans and Lenos and like fuck, all those guys went through there.
It's so fucking cool. I love it. I mean, I love it. I love the vibe there. And like, there was a point where I felt like I was hanging out too much. I think I fell asleep in the office once. And I mean, I've only been past there for like 2 months where I'm like, all right, time to go. But it's really fun. I like the staff. Everyone's really cool. Tommy's awesome. And it's just exciting to feel like there's like a community.
Right.
It's really cool. Like if I came out here, like when I first came out, I was like, I'm
How
not fucking
important is
going to
that
get
to
to anyone.
not be alone in this endeavor?
Hopefully not too important. It's good to have support. I mean, I look at my friends like my friend Mike Lawrence.
I mean, you say that, but you're embraced by all those fucking guys down there.
I'll tell you, in New York, I have a lot of people who are not necessarily on my side, and maybe
Why?
it's paranoia.
Men or women?
Both.
Mostly.
Maybe women.
Yeah.
I had an incident when
Because y'all are like that.
I know. I really try not to be. I've really like developed a good relationship with women over the past few years. Certainly didn't start out with one. My mom's such a dyke, but she's such a fucking dyke. But I don't know. I mean, I have a fucking I'm like a go fuck yourself attitude. It's not real. I'm a nice person. I don't ever want to hurt people's feelings, but some people take it seriously. And I also I ran a show with some people in Brooklyn. I started a show and it didn't work out with them. And so I fired them from the show. And they're two beloved, very funny female comics that it just didn't work out. It wasn't a good match.
Hate, you know?
I have a kind of good relationship,
They're
like an
"Fuck
okay
Chelsea"
relationship.
lately. They're like, we're not even watching that shit.
But I mean, I don't think anyone can afford cable that's doing comedy. But but I think that I did hurt them, and I do wish that maybe I had somehow been able to handle it more. I don't take back the decision I made. I ended up making that into a really special show and I really built an audience and sort of a brand for myself there, and had a great time, and it wouldn't have been able to work with them. I wish that I had somehow been able to maneuver it in a way that didn't make them feel so hurt or slighted, which it was not my intention.
Right.
Or make them think that I didn't totally respect them and think they were super funny and great and going to be successful. So
it's so hard when you're trying to fucking just
It's a
master
little
your own
business
way
too,
through.
you know?
You're walking through a jungle swinging a machete, and it's like it's hard to not. You're gonna nick somebody that's walking close next to you. I mean, it's hard to get down there. I think it's almost like when you've got to build your own house before you can have your friends in kind of thing. And it's like this is a business that's like that.
Yeah, and it sucks because it was like a situation where it was like I could have just run the show by myself, but I thought it would, like, the three of us were all kind of like girls that were getting attention. They were like a little bit newer than me. And I was like, oh, we'll do this together. It'll be the three of us. It'll be so fun.
Right.
But then, like, the reality of it was, like, I'm doing all of the work. And not that they weren't like, we can help, but I was just like, I like know how to do this.
With a vision, though,
and
you've got a vision you want to exact. And if it's not the same vision, you can't walk with those people.
And that's all it was. And it was like, it was just so like, it was such a heartbreaking situation. And I felt so bad about it. Like, this is the first I've even talked about it publicly because I just don't want to like open any wounds or like disrespect anyone. But it was just like such a bummer because I really do care about them and did care about them. And, I'm friends with their boyfriends or not anymore. I mean, there's a lot of people that are really like, fuck you. She's like a social climber or whatever. And it's like, I'm not. I just really needed to put on my allegiance is to the audience.
It can
it's
look
what
like
I said.
it
It's
can,
the
it can
audience.
it can look like anything to people.
Well, yeah, like
a social climber. Why? Because somebody admired me that was in a position to put me on the radio or on TV. Like, it doesn't mean anything. You know, one of the most poignant things that you said, which I really don't believe you at all. No, I do totally believe you. But that whole thing, like, I would never fuck somebody that can help me.
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
having lines like that
I
you've
never
drawn
would.
that are like, I don't want to ever be in this position to really skew my. It's like it's the thing. Of course, you don't respect your vagina at all. That's clear from
Who
the choices
would,
you've
huh?
made, right? But
Lasered.
every graffiti artist in town
Mantel's
really has
lasered.
tagged that, right? But the thing is respecting your craft to the point where I wouldn't sully it by putting it in a bad light with somebody that could be helpful to
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like your child. It's
Well,
like in a way.
Also, I had a fast rise, and I did make like a few, maybe hurt some people or rub some people the wrong way on the way. So they're all going to be looking to poke holes in how I got the way where I got. And I mean, to that I say, did you work harder than me? Could you be working harder? Why are you focusing on me? You should be looking at your shit, which is what I did. Whenever I had those pangs of jealousy or like, how did that person get that? Why didn't I get it? I fucking turned it back to my notebook and I fucking went for it, because you can't, it is going to rise up. It is going to be there. It's fucking terrible. It sucks. It makes you panic. It's a place of fear. And the only thing you can do to combat it is to work harder. That's the only thing you can do. But I mean, so if people are going to be looking at me and trying to find the things that I've done wrong, the first thing they're going to say is, oh, she's opening for that person. She's doing that. She must have fucked them. She must have fucked that person, that person. Yeah, they're going to think that's the truth.
Because comics really want to hang around with the person they just fucked. But I don't know one comic that is like, can't wait to hang out with her more after they come on.
Me included.
Such a silly idea.
Me included. You don't get to fuck me twice. I'll tell you that. Well, maybe 3 times, but never 4. But it's like, so it's like, even though they're going to think what they're going to think no matter what, I'm honest to, like, I mean, it's Asperger's-y. Like, I like literally cannot lie. And I'm just never been able to do it. So if I did fuck one of these guys to get whatever, or in the same moment that I was getting something from them and someone asked me, I would tell the truth. And I need to know for myself that that's not true. I need to know that I've earned everything that I've gotten, or what the fuck is the point? I'm not I wasn't like, I want to be famous. If I wanted to be famous, I'd fuck everyone. I'd do whatever I want. I'd fire bitches just because, I'd do whatever, because that's the way you get to the top, is you take everyone else out beneath you. I don't want that. I want to be the best comic I can be. It's fucking so cool that I get to be on TV. I would love to continue doing it. I would love to have a TV show. It's very cool to get emails from people from middle school apologizing for making out with my fucking 12-year-old boyfriend I don't remember. Do you know what I mean? Like, shit like that. It's so cool. It's like so fun to get the recognition. But it's because it's like a recognition of hard work. And not to say that, I mean, now I would love,
and it's not just
to be to be a household name would be so cool, but that's because it's a reassurance of that, and you get to sell out shows, and you can just tour till you die.
It's like, there's a lot of people that can work hard, but to work hard and take a risk, those are different things. A lot of people work hard with a secure, shitty job. If you're working digging ditches somewhere, you're fucking working hard, but you're not risking anything. It's like you're trading your security for a real freedom.
Yeah.
And it's like, to risk like that, to go out and be like, here I am, not getting an education to be an engineer, an accountant, or whatever, where somebody's going to pay me a paycheck so that I can have a so-called secure future, which really doesn't exist anyway. So if you're doing that, stop it. You're barking up the wrong tree. But like, to go and risk something and be like, I'm not going to get ahead. Maybe all this stuff, like everything is against me, and everybody says that it's against me, and everybody doesn't really believe in this, and they go, oh, isn't that cute, that thing they're doing, and I'm fucking doing it anyway. The kind of risk that goes in with that, that's why I really always just glean to comics. And it really, like, when I had the opportunity to work with a bunch of guys, it was like so much in line with what a fighting career is.
Yeah.
Of like, I've just got you. It's such a fucking risk, and it's such a putting yourself out in a way that other people will not, cannot, and don't.
But the truth is, Tait, it's also like, I mean, let's stop like patting ourselves in the back, because we are fucking so lucky.
Why would we stop doing that?
But we're so lucky that we get to do these things that have such highs, like they also have the lows.
For sure.
But I mean, there's nothing fucking cooler than fucking fighting for a living, and there's nothing fucking cooler than going on stage and like battling in front of an audience. And like, I honestly cannot believe how lucky I am that I get to do this. And not to like discount my work or anything, but it's like, I mean, it's so fucking cool. It's so awesome. I think
that's why you're successful though too, is because the time I've been most successful is when I live in that appreciation. I'm just fucking appreciative that I get to fucking be at the party. God damn, how thankful am I? Like, because it could be a whole different way. It could be 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's this.
But money isn't. Perfect. Yeah. And like when people like their goal is money or fame or whatever, that's like so fucking bullshit. That's not the thing.
Right.
It's that like moment, those experiences, the relationships you fucking build.
That's the thing that is so transient. I mean, how many times has $1,000 slipped through your fingers? It's like it just doesn't mean anything.
Right into a G-string, right?
Exactly. I mean, let's be
right
honest.
Into a stripper's gaping butthole.
Ugh.
They're really good at just suctioning them up.
You were probably mad that you were never a stripper. You'd like to try that?
I would never be a stripper. It's never going to be. I'm not a good dancer. Remember I was a go-go dancer at Swig?
No.
Were you friends with me then? I mean, I'm the worst dancer in the world. I would get blackout drunk and fall off the podium. I would literally fall off the podium weeping.
There's guys in Santa Fe that find that sexy. Like Jared Trujillo, he would find that sexy. That's that's a date for him. Right
Jared's so gross.
Good, I'm getting pussy tonight.
Jared, you're disgusting.
So gross.
Jared. I feel like he only likes black girls, but maybe that's in my head.
I think any whatever's available right there at the time.
Does he train with you guys?
Whoever's drunkest is who Jared likes.
I mean, Jared's a rapist. That's so funny.
No, funny story about Jared. God,
I mean, he's a joke. I love him. This is me being genuine and nice.
I mean, there's a few people in that town who every time I see, I'm like, I get along with everybody.
Yeah.
I'm a nice guy. I'll talk
Get rid of that if you want to do comedy.
But there's a few people where I'm like, I just want to fucking punch them. Jared's one of them. But apparently he's in jail now. Oh, really?
All right, then fuck Jared. I won't say anything nice about him.
Do
they get podcasts in jail?
I like that. That's what it's like. Oh, he's okay. Then fuck that guy. Because you were being really nice.
No, I don't actually have like a specific run-in with him. I think I liked him. I don't really remember. I mean, it's been a long time.
And you're blacked out most of the time.
I was blacked out almost the entire time. I mean, I lost my mid-20s. I mean, I lost them. It's so crazy. I think that's another reason why I work really hard too, Tait, because it's like I feel like I like lost time and I'm like making up for it. Like it's like almost like it's like a punishment to myself. Like I don't give myself vacations. I'm like, my vacation was like fucking being bottomless at fucking Jeremiah's house. You know?
Nothing wrong with that. A lot of ladies like that. That wasn't a bottom for them at all.
What, bottomless?
Right.
I didn't say bottom out.
Right. But that wouldn't be a negative is all I'm saying.
I actually really like Jeremiah. In retrospect.
Absolutely. He's in Dallas now.
We have like a little bit of communication on the internet that's very nice. But I did fuck him and it was not healthy.
And it was awesome though. It was really good.
I don't know. I was blackout.
It was good sex, ladies. I don't want to put a negative spin on it.
No. Oh, no. I'm not talking shit. No. I'm not talking shit on his sex. I was blackout. I said it wasn't healthy. I was like blackout. I remember us like yelling at each other. I was dating that girl. Remember I was like getting fingered by that girl Morgan?
Yeah.
How do you not remember this?
Yeah.
I remember like I have a girlfriend and a boyfriend. And I would like make out with her at Willie's and Jeremiah would be like throwing ice at me. And then he'd be like, what do you think I want to be exclusive with you? Maya don't want exclusive relationships. And I was like, why are you mad at me then? I'm just so fat and drunk. Like I just had no clue what was happening at all times. But in retrospect, I think he's a great guy. And I'm sure he's very delicious. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Delightful in bed.
And delicious.
But I can't, no, delicious is so disgusting and I can't believe that almost came out of my mouth.
It did, actually.
It didn't. No, but I think he's great. He's cute. He's got a nice bod. I think. I don't remember what his ween looks like.
I can't believe how far we've gone left on this.
Well, I
don't even remember where we were.
You know, just blacking out and trying to get your shit together, and it's exciting. Did I tell you? I told you about.
Where do you want to go with this? You want to have your own show?
I would love to have my own show, but I would want it to be like good. I don't want it to be like.
You don't want to have a show
generic,
just for the sake of having a show.
Yeah, exactly. I would want it to be the right thing. I do a lot of animation stuff with my friend Abby, and I illustrate. And I would love to have some sort of like partially animated thing. There's something that just brings all my stuff together. But that's
like
my point of view.
That one really shitty movie with Keanu Reeves.
That was so weird. Waking Life.
No, there's something else.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Something similar to that.
Something shitty. It was like an action show.
Wasn't it Waking Life?
I have no idea.
I think it was Waking Life.
I'm gonna Google it.
What do I win?
Or like Space Jam.
Yeah, exactly. Totally like Space Jam.
Really?
Like, I Framed Roger Rabbit or something. I mean, I don't know. I would want it to be like I'm a little bit darker. I'd want it to be dark and like honest and whatever. It'll be.
But no matter what direction you take it in, Space Jam is the template.
Yeah, it'll definitely be like Tasmanian Devil world spinning out of control.
Right.
Tweety Bird type shit. You know, all of that.
Scanner Darkly?
Yes.
Something
I was wrong.
Darkly. Yeah.
Waking Life was similar.
That doesn't come up on Google. It's like you're making that up. You keep saying Waking Life, but Google is fucking unaware of that shit.
You're such a piece of garbage.
It's true.
Jeremiah.
Not the garbage part.
Who else did I bang in Santa Fe who I still think nicely of?
Oh, my God.
I had a boyfriend, Zeb, who I really liked.
I feel like I know that name somehow.
There's a shitty Zeb and a good Zeb, and mine was the good Zeb. I don't think you knew the good Zeb.
There's another Tait.
And then Zeb, wasn't there another Zeb that died? Remember Zeb died?
I think I went to a hog roast of a dude named Zeb.
Yeah! Yeah, that was him. Tall dude?
Yeah.
That's my boyfriend from college. I love him.
What college did you go to?
The College of Santa Fe went out of business.
Oh. You know what they do now? Shoot movies there.
Oh, really cool.
It's like that's where the base camp for like Longmire is, and they do a lot of any shows that come through there. That's kind of a lot of times that's where they set up, either there or Santa Fe Studios.
I mean, it's just it just went out of business. I spent
So
8
crazy.
years undergrad there.
It's a weird thing like that out of business thing when it's a big, huge
It's embarrassing.
endeavor like that. It's like, well, how about Stockton, Sacramento, Mammoth? There's another city. There's like 4 cities in California that went bankrupt, which means all their firemen, police, all the retired people,
Not the
city
firemen.
workers, they don't get any fucking money. They're all retired with a pension.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
you're fucked.
I gave firefighters $1 today, and they were walking their boot around, and I got
saw
a
'em
sticker.
walking the boot around.
I fucking love firefighters so much. They're like, I swear, they're heroes.
All whores like firefighters.
No, I don't want to fuck them. I'm starstruck by them. I literally am starstruck.
Do you
by
know
them.
what girls, when they're starstruck by somebody, you know what they do?
I don't fuck people like that. You know, I don't. I fuck people I'm disappointed in.
You end up disappointed in them.
Not
Mostly.
really. Maybe. Marin wrote me like on Twitter. I said something to him. I made fun of him for something, Mark Marin, and he wrote me back. He was like, we always get in Twitter battles. He was like, shut up, go fuck someone you hate. And I was like, it never starts out hateful. It's usually during or after that it becomes hatred.
You wish it was the beginning of it, though. It's almost like
I have an antagonistic relationship with a guy in this town where we just choke each other. I hooked up with him once, and now I just want to see me like choke each other and make out in dark corners.
Bobby Lee.
No,
Because how do you make out with a gay guy? He's never hard when you make out with
I
him.
love little Bobby Lee and his little black balls.
He's got black balls.
Yeah, he's never showed you his
He's
balls.
on stage. I've never been close enough to be up. I haven't been in the proximity that you've
I
enjoyed.
like Bobby. No, I mean he just always takes a stick out everywhere. There's like pictures all over Chelsea of it.
Ugh.
He's so funny. I show my boobs too. We're very similar, me and Bobby Lee.
In that you both love men.
I don't know. I don't know what Bobby Lee's into. I don't know why you're trying to get me to talk shit on Bobby Lee. It's weird. Some weird agenda. This is the whole reason you brought me over here.
Yeah. I don't think that you can talk shit on him. I think he's above all that. He
so
floats
funny.
like an angel to me a little bit.
He what?
He floats like an angel, kind of above the fray of all the darkness a little bit.
He's goofy.
He's an elevated soul, I think, Bobby Lee.
He's a goofy little fucker. I want to do
And he's
Chelsea
goofy,
Roundtable
too.
with him.
I think he'd be hilarious. Like
He
to
does
see
it.
him-
I mean, he does it all the time.
Oh,
but-
does he?
Yeah, but we were
I'm gonna
supposed to
have
do
watch
one
this show
together.
sometime.
We were supposed to be on the round table together, and I'm going to be out of town, so we're not. And it's so disappointing. I almost paid money to change my ticket so I could be on it
when
with
he
him.
gets excited and it's like watching somebody about to burst with. He's fucking interesting to watch.
Yeah,
man.
I like him a lot.
Like that. I like him like that way better than I like him like in characters that I've seen on films or in skits or anything. But like when he's just talking, oh fuck,
Yeah,
he's good, man.
I like him. I like him all around.
Yep.
He's a good dude. He's a person that I have enjoyed meeting. And there's not many people I don't like in LA. That's what one of my friends said, that when I was like deciding whether I was going to go back to New York or not. My friend moved here. My friend Scotty moved here with his girlfriend, and he's like, Annie, we left the people who hated us in New York. And I'm like, oh my God, brilliant. And I mean, I'm sure I got haters in LA, but people are a little more quiet about it. They fucking fake it out. I love
think
it.
people are careful. Everybody walks carefully because they're like, who knows if that
You
person
never
makes
know.
it, maybe they can help me.
And it's interesting because
such
New
a
York is the same way,
silly,
though, and you
silly
just don't
thing.
notice. I mean, I've probably burned some bridges, but I mean, you know, if
think it's bullshit.
your inside's good, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, well, if I fucked with someone, it wasn't, you know, on purpose. There's some people that I find intolerable, and I wouldn't want to work with them even if they got stuff.
I think there's people that love the art, they love what they're doing, and they love focusing on that. And then there's the people that not that those people don't want to go somewhere with that art. And then there's the people that only want to go somewhere and the art is secondary. And it seems like those are the people that are the antagonistic people in that.
Well,
Wherever that is.
people just get really scared of their own shit, and it's all fear based, and they get like really like they just get panicked. They get scared, and so they lash out at other people. They worry about other people's
I think
careers.
that's the thing, though, is that when you focus on, like, where do you direct that? Like, I got in a discussion the other day, and there's a friend that's super duper depressed and kind of crummy about it all the time. And then a friend in common was like, you should talk to Tait about that. He fucking battles with that shit all the time. And she's like, well, then he's fake. and because all his posts on Facebook are like this, or his Twitter, or he puts off this very positive spin and and all this shit, right? And I'm going, okay, if I take that to be true, like that's fake, like, all right. And then I go, how many people then have I touched in a positive way? Maybe kept the pistol out of their mouth, maybe offered a new way of looking at.
Is that about your dick?
All that kind of stuff. Like that's all good. That's all to the good. And it's like there's a thing about consciously choosing your state of mind and consciously choosing what I'm going to emit to the world, and that's fucking valuable, man. That's important. And the other thing is that you're a victim of the world, and like so you're either proactively like I'm going to proactively be conscientious and positive, or I'm going to just my default setting is I'd rather shoot dope and sit on the couch.
Is there fucking anything worse than when you realize that you're being a victim?
Dude, and that's
when you realize you're just being a fucking victim in something, it's so like I remember when I just figured this out.
That's the problem with people that are taken care of. They're all victims.
There's a book.
Because it can't be good enough because they've never worked for shit.
There's a book I listened to on tape right when I was quitting drinking that really helped me and like really helped me in my career. It's this book called Goals by Brian Tracy. And it's like, I had a therapist that gave it to me, and it's just about like, you set your positive goals. Like you set your goals, like 10 goals a day. You know, it's like, I want to be on Comedy Central. And then you have 3 things, or you say, I am on Comedy Central. You say it positive, like it's right. It's current.
Like it's I am
on Comedy Central. And then you have 3 reasons how you're going to get there. I have a great manager. I have a great agent. I perform 15 times a week or whatever. And you just,
How's
and then it's
manager?
Like your next thing. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a thing, but it'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine because, you know, I do the work and it'll be cool. And I'm very sad about all these things are relationships. And, you know, I appreciate everyone and feel sad. Anyone who's helped me, I appreciate, but sometimes it's not the right fit. But what was I talking about? Oh, the goals book. Oh, you set your goals. But I remember in the beginning of before he gets to the goals thing, he says these things where he's like how important it is to take accountability for yourself. The minute that you can take the blame off other people and you can really accept responsibility for things, you have so much power. Like I remember there was for so long I was like looking at my parents and being like, everybody, are you fucking kidding me? You're not giving me this, or like you're not going to answer my call, or you're not going to tell me this. Like they owed me something. The minute that you realize you're not owed fucking anything and that you're in charge, you have so much power.
The quote I love the most is just that the only people that I really need to concern myself with getting even with are those that have helped me.
Yeah.
And if that's my fucking holy fuck.
Oh, that's good.
My life just opens right up with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need to go and get even with that dude that fucking, he owes me $30. How many guys that owe me $30 can I afford to fucking think about poorly every day? I was talking with a good friend of mine yesterday, and we were going through some stuff, and he was talking about, this kid, I let him stay in my place while I was traveling, and he fucking burned me to the tune of like $3,600. It's a big note, $3,600, you know? But it's like, I was like, I said, you got to just make it a wash. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, he owes me that. I said, either you're going to be mad about him owing you that, or you're going to let him off the hook. Neither of those is going to make him pay you. You're not going to get your money either way, or you are going to get your money either way. But it's not going to matter about how you feel about it. So now your choice is, do I feel good about it, or do I not? Because the only way that you're going to be free is if you let him off the hook. Like, you've got to let him off the hook.
It's that moment, and I get so aggravated, and I get so upset. And this thing that's happening with my career right now, it's like, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to, but it's like, the minute you, like, let go of the anger and the needing to be right, like, it's this needing to be right and needing someone to be like, I was wrong and you're right. And I've been going around, I've been asking everyone's advice, like, should I do this? Should I do that? And it's like, no one's going to give you you're just going around trying to get agreement for something, and it's like you just have to make choices. You have to stand strong in them, and you have to just try to not like hold on to like anger and I do it. I get so like mad because I feel like I've always had to like fight for myself. It's like I'm always standing up for myself. I'm always doing this. But the truth is I'm outspoken. It's what makes me funny. It's a fucking gift. It's good. It's like I don't need to hold on to the anger part of it. I can just use the good stuff and harness it for like creative stuff. Yep. And it's like, it's something I think about all the time.
And the bad
I'm always
stuff
trying
doesn't
to catch
serve me.
Yeah.
It's like all that negative shit. If I think about all the stuff that you needed, that doesn't serve me. It's like we're following a guy from the airport and he's mad because he's driving 20 miles an hour. I'd like to be driving 40 miles an hour to get here and meet you. And fucking,
I'm late anyway.
And all he is just eyes in the rearview mirror looking at me. And I'm like, it's going to be hard to get where you're going, partner. if you're just looking behind you. And it's like I feel the same thing with that negative shit. It's not like putting on rose-colored glasses is like...
Wait, did you just make that guy wrong and then
What do
try
you
to
mean?
use it as an example?
Make him wrong how?
Did you just make the guy the asshole and then try to use it as an example?
No, when I do that, like, because I'm that dude. I'm like, when I'm looking in the rearview mirror at like what a twat you are, then I'm never thinking about like what I need to do. Like when you said I need to turn my eyes into my notebook, not thinking about all these fucking people that are getting better and I'm better than them. And why did they get that spot and I didn't? And you just go back into your writing. All you can focus on is your shit, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the same kind of thing like with anything. It's like I can't, like preparing for the fight, like Nate can't prepare by hoping the guy doesn't have very good training or hoping the guy isn't prepared. He can only do what he can do for his own skill set and his
all
own.
you can do, and you can't change the way people feel. You can't change the way
show
people
up.
think. You show up. That's another thing. It's like I always try to be like on time to shit. Like you just want. And you want to be like, even when I'm on set for things, like I did this Comedy Central thing, you get to know the fucking people who are like, whatever you call, like the crew and everything.
PAs and fucking set
be nice to
dressers
fucking
and all that.
everyone. I'm in a business where I talk to people because I fucking love it. I loved being a cowgirl waitress. I loved being a bartender. I love that, like, because I love like talking to people. Like I get to like do this as my job. Why would I all of a sudden feel above anyone? You can never, the minute you have that feeling, and we all have it in us, I think as you rise, you get a little bit of an ego and stuff. And, you know, I've heard people just screaming at their managers and just yelling at, yeah. And it's like, you just got to like try to be good to people. And I obviously have had my moments, especially recently. And it's just, you know, like if you can leave something just looking at the positive in someone, even if it's like a relationship that has to end, you just, you know, thank people for what they've done and like move on. It's good. It's hard, but it's like once you give it up, it really does feel better. Once you really like let it go, which I think I'm at in my situation right now.
With your current situation, which you don't want to talk about at all.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I want to use an analogy instead. Maybe it's not professional.
Let's just end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to say that at all.
Exactly. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better.
Do you want to go get something to eat?
Yeah.
Okay, Nate. Are
I'm
you
so
eating
jacked
at all
up
right now, Nate, or no?
I'm so high off this
I'm
coffee.
starving. I'd like something, but
What kind of food can you eat? Nate's got to be at 161
Yeah, show us your abs again.
pounds.
161 pounds.
And he weighs 163 right now. You've done so good. So the fuck part about this, you guys, for those of you that understand, is that he's got to cut weight for this thing, but he's got to fucking weigh in the day of the fight. So he's got to be, he can't cut but a couple pounds of water because you just can't lose 10 pounds of water and come back in the day and be worth a fuck. So here he is. So what are you going to eat?
Well, what my diet is now is it's been hard-boiled eggs and maybe some lean meat, chicken, turkey, nothing with sodium because I gotta, you know, I don't want to hold it, like retain any unnecessary water. I want to keep everything flowing, keep everything moving. So, you know, no sodium, which is hard to go anywhere. You know, that's like, and if I'm not cooking at home, it's fucking really hard to find anything that's, if anything is cooked for you, it has salt. 100%. It always does. So it's like, I don't know, an easy go-to. I've been eating hard-boiled eggs and oranges because I know that those don't have any salt. So that's been kind of that, or like I'll get some raw nuts.
Annie and I are not going to eat hard-boiled eggs and nuts right now. So what are you going to eat if we go to maybe like the counter? Would you eat a buffalo patty or no?
I don't know. I would hope that I could maybe request, like if they would just have some meat, like, hey, can you not season that?
Yeah.
I could maybe make that request of them.
Does that sound good?
I don't want to put your fight in jeopedy.
You won't.
She says she doesn't want to put the fight in jeopardy. It's so hard to fucking keep talking to them. It's like it's hard to remember that this is getting recorded, and then to say something, it seems like there's a partial conversation then that'll be recorded.
I don't care. He's shoving the mic in my face like it's a dick.
Or I will enjoy you guys' company at the counter, and I'll grab something from Whole Foods or something. There's that.
There's salt in that shit too, really motherfucker.
Good. We'll do whatever we want. I want to thank you all, and we'll be back soon, and we'll let you know how Nate's fight goes, and I hope that we see you. We're gonna probably have a bulletproof coffee truck at the like a butter coffee truck, maybe it'll be called, at the CrossFit Games in July, if any of you cocksuckers are in this kind of area. And then what else? Virus clothing company, virus.com, I think it is, or virusinternational.com. I believe either they, Tapout, or Jaco are going to be sponsoring that truck. and perhaps this podcast. So we'll see who gets their shit together first. Heads up, Scrape. What's cracking? And I don't know what else. Some other company, solar powered thing, was thinking about buying a building for the gym in Santa Fe, and they were gonna put solar power on it. So if they get it together too, we could have some actual sponsors for this thing, which would be badass. And that's
Maybe you
it.
could get a cleaning lady.
And then maybe I'm gonna get Annie, who's broke, to come and clean my house here. Also, if she can do laundry at all, as well as the Mexican lady that came one time.
How much?
I'll give you $7
Quanto
an hour.
Questo.
And then also, if you could make a trip to Santa Fe and clean our house there too, that'd be great.
Do you guys live together?
Yeah, Nate rents a room, and
How much?
He's the sole renter there. He rents a room.
How much?
But he gets the whole house. But he doesn't really, because I have exploded all over that house with clothing and garbage, and so that it's basically he lives like a hoarder, but he doesn't have anything.
But he's not the problem.
Right, exactly.
Someone else is hoarding.
He's such a gentleman. He really.
Tait, I'm so happy that this is what your life looks like. It makes me so happy.
I went
You're
and I bought him a
flawed.
hamper too.
That's so not good enough. I mean,
we're
that's
so
not
we're
worth.
so done with this. Thank you all very
Bye,
much.
thank
I'm
you.
glad
Clean
that I
make your
made all
beds.
these whores feel better here, and can't wait. We'll talk about Annie, and maybe we'll post pictures of her cleaning my house later, which would be really good for
So
as good as I've
doubtful.
been to her.
So doubtful.
Peace out, yo.
Bye.